Actually, the song that I just produced is entered in the Grammy, possibly for nomination.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. It's the first song in the country where neuroscience meets the music. So the suffering of the elderly people and the suffering of the mental health, those two drove me towards two different kind of pathways.
Hi guys, my name is Leonard Smith.
And I'm Kat Aguilar-Smith.
And welcome to the Rhythm Investor Podcast, where we interview small business movers and shakers and billionaire money makers. And today we are here with our good friend from a little far up north in a town called Boston, Dr. Mehdi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Mehdi, you speak more languages than probably I have fingers.
Oh my goodness!
You are a leading, doctor in the memory care side. You have this AI product that's going to change mental health. That's just a short side of what we know about you.
Yes.
But for those of our friends that are watching, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay. Well, my name still is Dr. Mehdi.
We got that right.
And I come from the bean town. We call it Boston a bean town.
The bean town.
Yeah. And we are very excited there because the temperature is 40 degrees, which means it's warm. So my background is I am an internal medicine doctor. A primary care doctor. Prior to that, I used to be intensive care unit doctor, which is where we keep dead people alive by using machines.
Yeah. Wow.
And then prior to that, I dabbled into neurosurgery and neuroscience. Did my preventive medicine at Yale University and internal medicine at Boston University, and was a Harvard Medical School faculty member in the Department of Medicine for about 10 years or so.
Wow.
Yeah, and what he's not telling you is he's also trained in martial arts, yoga, sound engineering, and energy work.
Amazing.
So Dr. Mehdi is literally a Renaissance man, and it's so great. I was joking. I said, Dr. Mehdi, he is actually gifted on the right and the left side of his brain.
Yeah, seriously.
Actually, the song that I just produced is entered in the Grammy, possibly for nomination.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's the first song in the country where neuroscience meets the music.
Wow.
And this song will be able to produce neurotransmitters in the brain while you're listening to it. So instead of taking medications or to increase your serotonin or dopamine, depression, anxiety, this one brings out through music. Music becomes a medicine. And that's why I call it med beats.
Yeah, and what
that's
a perfect,
beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, being the Rhythm Investor Podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Rhythm is the medicine. Rhythm is the medicine for your finances.
Yeah.
Right?
That's totally right.
Yes.
Oh my God. We have to have rhythm in everything, because honestly, if you don't have your mind right, you don't have your stress levels right, you can't really perform at, to your peak. And so we know neuroscience is so important. Even sleep and whatnot, your brain needs all that. And so bringing that together with music is almost like the best thing, because, a lot of our youth, even you think about, our youth that went into college and they were during COVID and they didn't have, so they suffered from depression, anxiety, but they were listening to music. That's something that really connects everybody together. Worldly music, all types of music. So we commend you for that. That's brilliant. How did you get into the music side of things? Like, tell us.
COVID.
I love it.
There was so much time available, so I need to learn something new. And my wife is a soprano. She's an opera singer.
Wow.
She has been to 2 or 3 Grammys. So she went to be a school of opera and I went to be a school of medicine. So that's where we met.
Wow.
And so music was in our house, but I was not the musician.
Yeah.
So I said, what if I learn how to make music because singing, I was failing tremendously. to a point where my daughter and my wife will say, "We are leaving now. You can sing." So I knew my career is.
Okay, so
if you can't sing, you make it.
Yeah.
So this is exciting because Dr. Mehdi, it's good that we know you're not great at everything, but I will say we have a show called Lip Sync Battle, and that could be the show for you.
That's right.
It's all
Make it till
about
you make it.
the acting and the connecting. So I know, Kat, and we were talking about mental health. Tell us about this new project that you have. It's the chip, and give us just
Sure.
the high level.
So it's kind of like evolved naturally and organically. Being a intensive care unit doctor and then primary care doctor, where people come up with all kinds of problems. I think over 30 years, I have seen over 100,000 medical consults. We have 28,000 registered patients in Boston area. We have people come from multiple states, close to over 20 states, for consultation with me. And one of the reasons they're coming is because we don't have the solution. The drugs are good. We need them, but they don't always work. Yeah. According to FDA data, they work only 20 to 30% of the time. Wow. You're in remission. So that means if 100 people are depressed, 70 might still be suffering.
Oh my God.
So that's a big number. Huge. Because they don't go in remission.
Yeah.
And we have multiple, just like ice cream store, we have many, many flavors of these drugs, but they have the similar side effects. You gain weight, sexual dysfunction. Try to say to a patient, look, I know you're depressed and you're anxious. I'm going to give you a pill. It's going to make you fat and you're going to have no sex.
Sign me up. Yeah, I don't
Sign me.
It's like those commercials. It's like you will get depression, anxiety, and then it's like you may die, and
exactly.
I'm like, who's gonna buy this?
I know all those commercials. They have a long
people, and then the disclaimer comes through.
And then it says, "Ask your doctor."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I think that took me to a level where I said, something is not working. It looks like we are trying to suppress the symptoms, but we're not working on the causation. And that's where our medical system right now, like Titanic, heading towards the iceberg, where we are basically constantly focusing on minimizing and suppressing the symptoms. You go to CVS and Walgreens and say, give me a pill that will fix the causation. They don't have it. Say, give me a pill that will suppress my symptoms. They have it, right? So where do you find a solution? And that gave birth to two concepts. One was obviously people who, when I met them, they were 60 years old. 30 years later, they are now 90 years old.
Wow.
So they are in memory care centers and they are suffering too. So the suffering of the elderly people and the suffering of the mental health, those two drove me towards two different kind of pathways. One was being a consultant for multiple memory care centers over 25, 30 years, being a national and international speaker in the field of memory care centers. It felt like that they are listening, but they're not changing. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create a memory care center concept myself. I called it Memory Care Village. Wow. My mom was on deathbed in ICU. And just a few hours before passing, she goes, do you have a ticket? And I said, ticket for what? She said, we carry the ticket for the same destiny. It's just our train leaves at different time.
Wow.
And while you're in the Grand Central Station of life, make sure you enjoy life. Life is a journey. And then she said, before dying, she said, make sure you call your memory care a journey.
Wow.
So that's why it's called Journey Memory Care Village.
Wow.
And this is the first place, because the current memory care centers, and they're popping up like mushrooms. The problem there is that people are living in a brick and mortar place. You yank them from their house, you put them in these centers. They're a little bit in a cubbyhole. There's sensory isolation. They get a little depressed or anxious. You call the good doctors, and the good doctors bring those medications that are only 20% efficacious. And now you have, and elderly people have other symptoms. They get Parkinson-like symptoms.
Wow.
So now they're falling. So then you call the loved one, or your dad just fell and broke a hip. This is all happening as we're speaking. That started hurting me. And my mom and dad were 89. I took care of them. So I know what it's like to take care of older people. And taking care of these patients, I said, you know what? I got to create a new platform. a village. Instead of a center, it'll be a village. So if you go to Disney World, and you see those little town, little Italy, little France.
Yeah.
So imagine a village where all our elderly population is living, where they have a mini bookstore, mini movie theater, mini grocery store, maybe funny money they will use. But suddenly, memory care center took the pleasures of elderly. Memory care village is going to give that pleasure back to them. So that's the one concept.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and that's so powerful. And I know this is something that, you know, have you. I mean, I know the project happening right outside of Boston, but this is something that really could change the trajectory of. And you would probably know this. I think by 2030, there's 50,000 baby boomers hitting.
Yes,
it's like every hour.
A silver tsunami.
It's crazy numbers, right? So this could really be so impactful for so many lives. So it's such a beautiful mission, and and living the continue of the journey, right? Which is a beautiful sentiment from your mom.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think also, you know, thinking about, you know, our parents aren't there yet, you know, and thinking about what I would want even in my elderly years, like, you know, there's a lot of stripping of your identity, right?
Yes.
You know, I think the elderly first start, you know, losing their licenses and their privileges to drive. And then it's like, you know, all their hobbies and who they really become. And so I feel, you know, I can almost like sense myself in that situation and picture myself, what would I want, you know? And that's such a beautiful thing, actually giving them the experience of like nothing's
the pleasures
changed.
Of life.
Nothing has changed so dramatically. Yes, there's some limitations here and there, but let's still enjoy life and experience it, because we're just at a different point in our lives where we can still experience it.
Yeah, just think for a second. You're in a hospital bedroom, confined. You feel depressed. You come your home, you feel better.
Yes.
So this will be their new home, new village, new life. You know, all the interactions, the sensory isolation is what they use in the prisons to break down the bad guys so that they can speak. We are using that in our memory care center. There's a lot of sensory. This one will give them that sensory stimulation so that's the one leg of the stool in the memory care. The second one is that the mental health. The question is, can memory loss be reversed? Can dementia be reversed? Now, 50 years ago, we would have said no. But now there's plenty of scientific data available that say the answer is yes.
Wow.
And in fact, on CNN, they had Dr. Sanjay Gupta did an expose of a lady who went on a very special nutrition, and her memory loss got reversed. And she started interacting with family and recognizing people. So that gave birth to something called
Was
food.
that an AI bot replica?
That's right.
Like, was it the real person?
That was deep fake.
Yeah. My goodness. I'm like, that sounds almost like impossible.
Yes. It is. I have done in my office. I have patients that I have been able to reverse some of their memory loss. Not all of it, but if you can shave off a little bit of that problem, it, I think, improves the quality of their life.
Yeah.
That's right.
And nutritional science is overlooked. Nutritional science is a lot more powerful than, let's say, diet.
Yeah.
Nutritional science is as powerful as aeronautical engineering science is for the planes. Without that, you can't fly. So then I thought of it. I said, look, my dad is a brilliant scientist. He was at Imperial College London, invented many chemicals and so forth. And he was telling me, and he said, and it resonates better with me, but this is what he said. He said, look, when we want to go from point A to point B, we came up with mechanical engineering science and we developed cars. Technology came to rescue.
Right.
Then we said we want to fly. Oliver Wilbur Wright brothers and aeronautical engineering science was born. And suddenly we sit in a piece of metal, 34,000 feet up, going to Boston.
Seems crazy.
Right? Crazy. Yeah. And we don't worry about the plane, we just worry about the legroom or the guy who's snoring.
Let's put tens of thousands of pounds of the most flammable thing you can in it.
Yes. Perfect. Because science is beautiful, right? Science came to rescue. Technology came to rescue. And then refrigeration, how do we heat our food, we're surrounded by technology. So then that's when the light bulb went on. And I said, you know what? Technology is the answer because the drugs are not working. Mm-hmm. So why not technology? So I collected all the technology that is available in the country and worldwide into one spot. And I called it ABM, Advanced Brain Methodology. And what I do is I use that.
Patented, right?
Yeah, it's a patent. So I've developed 28 patents. Wow. And one of the patents is called EPU, Emotion Processing Unit. It's the first chip in the world that will be able to process human emotions.
Wow.
Now, you have artificial intelligence, and now you have emotional intelligence.
Wow.
Artificial intelligence meets the emotional intelligence.
Wow.
The reason you need that is because everywhere technology is going to come to rescue us, right? Medications are not working. They have so many side effects. Try to ask anybody that's depressed, anxious, and say, oh my God, it's not working. Yeah. But the side effects are tremendous. This one is one more option for people to use the technology to reverse the depression. In fact, just transcranial magnetic stimulation, FDA-approved technology, data shows that it can put patient into remission for 5 years in 80% of the cases in people who had such a bad depression. Wow. Forget about medication. Electric shock therapy wasn't working for them, which is the last frontier in depression. Wow. When they did this technology for them, 80% got into remission. Wow. So the technology does work. Not everything works on everybody, just like not every medicine works. So the idea behind that was, can we create a platform where I can fix the mental health crisis that we have, where medications are not working, people are suffering, ADHD, depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD. And once I saw the progress in my clinic, it's a small clinic, 28,000 is not a big clinic comparing to a city or a town that we live in, but it's still 28,000 patients, a lot of patients.
That's a lot of patients.
And so I had a good sample of patients where I can reverse things. When I saw that I was able to reverse the depression, the anxiety, the PTSD, the OCD, and when the military guys were coming in with their PTSD and say, Doc, there's one gentleman came, he's a Green Beret, and I say, would you do me a favor? Please don't say yes, sir, so many times because it freaks me out, right? I'm a civilian guy.
It's making him nervous.
Yeah. I said, I'm going to start using the machines. And I said, would you not use that? He goes, yes, sir. I said, you just said it again. But I asked him, I said, how are you feeling with your PTSD? He said, Doc, I was stationed in Iraq, in Afghanistan. I have holes in my walls because I get up in the morning, in the middle of the night and start punching this and that. He said, this is the first time I slept for 8 hours. And the only reason you don't see my tears is because I'm a military guy. Our tears are flowing in the back of our eyes.
Wow.
You know? And I could still see him being teary.
No.
So I gave him a hug, even though I had to stand up on a stool. He's so tall.
I can imagine that.
Wow.
Wow, it's so powerful.
It's so powerful. And what's beautiful about both those projects is the amount of lives it's going to change. And, I know you hit this, in all projects, now it's like, okay, how do we fund this project? Right?
Yes.
How do we get people to see the beautiful opportunities that this is going to give to other people and maybe one day them at the end of the day. But there's some amazing financial numbers for investors on this project as well. Amazing number. We just got the valuation of this ABM company coming out of the garage. It's $147 million just coming out of the garage.
Amazing.
So McKinsey Group is involved in there and so forth. We have a team of people that are very powerful. Most of them have a few $1 billion exits in there. So I think this is, my goal is, when I started my life 45 years ago, I started my life as a homeless, which means no home, no friends, no food, no phone, right? No Instagram, no nothing available, right? and worked my way up and had a dream. And the dream was to be a good doctor, right? An MD. And I, went to Harvard. I taught at Harvard Medical School, Yale University affiliation with the preventive medicine, Boston University. So I felt like my dream has come true. And I'm living, thanks to the founding fathers, I felt like, my dream has come true. What do I do now? So this is my second dream.
Wow.
And the second dream is since I have already been there, done that, I've done something, I have a track record to prove that I can go from here to here. So now can I go from there to there where I can actually make a difference in people's life for humanity, not only in the United States, but worldwide, where they are suffering with depression, anxiety, PTSD, memory loss. Really, you don't have to have it. It can be fixed. It can be reversed. There is a hope now. And I want to give that hope. Not everything works out every time, but the fact that before there was no hope, ABM provides that hope that it is possible. I had somebody's mother came in from Cincinnati, 86 years old, on the wheelchair, could not say a word. And the doctor said, you should call the hospice, because hospice meaning there's not much left.
Yeah.
And then he brought to me and I said, that's not fair to me. You brought her. How do I fix this? He said, she's not speaking. So I did a brain scanning for her and developed a program at ABM. Long story short, and I have a video of her a while. When I asked her, I say, so how are you doing? And she said, I'm doing fine. And the son and the daughters are crying in the background, right? Aww. I have that video of them crying, right? And then I wanted to show them she's not just speaking, but her emotions are back, which is a very big thing, because you lose your loved ones with the memory care and dementia and stroke, that they lose their emotions. So her emotions were back. How do I know that? I say, don't you think this one deserves a kiss? And she immediately grabbed my cheek and gave me the kiss. I the video, She said, I love you. And I say, I love you too, right? So her emotions are back. Yes. Those are the things that I feel that I can, if the platform is big enough, I can provide to not only our country, but the rest of the world. Wherever there is mental health, wherever there's a memory care problem, we can reverse disease. That's what we are all about. Using nutritional science, using medical science, using neuroscience.
Using every tool.
Yes, every tool, not just one. Just to give you a snapshot to your audience, that nutritional science is a science where it turns the food into medicine. That's why I call it Food RX. That's what I've created. Wow. So what I have created is personal story. I got COVID. I had 1% chance of survival. And 1% is not that much. Right? 1% chance of survival. They were going to put me on the ventilator. I refused that because I used to put people on the ventilator. Yeah. Doctors are the worst patient, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. And the know-it-all comes out.
and yes, exactly. And then the third vaccine hit my heart. And so I was not able to walk more than 2 steps without being short of breath. It's failed a stress test, right? And I was told by my own colleagues that I am SOL, meaning shit out of luck, which means there's no hope. No. So when I came home, I did my own research for myself. Now it's a survival time for me. I have a 14-year-old son. I have a 21-year-old daughter that's going to med school. I say, I still have to feed them. They still need me. So I have to be on the right side of the grass.
Yeah, that's
so I developed a program for myself called Food RX. 6 months later, I went on a stress test, and the cardiologist said, right now you're at athletic level.
Wow.
Ejection fraction is 65, right? And I ran this morning 5 miles.
What?
Right? Yes.
And so, I can't even run half a mile.
So only by food, right? Oh. So food can reverse many, many diseases, good 80% of the disease.
Wow.
Food becomes a medicine. That's called Food RX. And this is the thing that I want your audience to know, that medical doctors are trained for many, many years, sometimes 8 to 12 years. I finished a little early. I did my high school at 14, then pre-med college 16, then 18 pharmacy, and then I think I did MD at 25, and then neuroscience and so forth. So I got a little more education. But even then, guess how much hours of nutritional science doctor taught? 4 hours total.
Wow. And that's because Big Pharma does.
Yes, yet. What's the number one killer in the country? Heart disease. Mm-hmm. Every 42nd, one American is dying, according to the data. Wow. Every 42nd, we have been more than 42nd year, somebody died prematurely that could have been reversed. Yeah. And that brought me to ICU when I was an ICU doctor, making lucrative salaries in the biggest hospital in Boston. A patient died at 3 a.m. I brought him back to life. And he said, "Doc, why are you sitting here at the bedside? Doctors don't do that."
Yeah.
I said, "You were dead not too long ago." and I said, "Where are the nurses?" I said, "Well, they're having their lunches, right? their late night dinners, the snacks, right?"
Yeah.
So I said, "I felt bad that you open your eyes and you're surrounded by machines." Aww. So I thought I'll just sit there and you open your eyes, there's a human sitting next to you.
Wow.
So that was a very weak moment for people because they're horizontal. They were dead. You brought them back to life. I can remember because men don't express that much emotion, but he held my hand and he goes, "Doc, can I ask you a question? Do you think all this could have been prevented?" And I stayed quiet. And he said, "Doc, why are you quiet?" I said, "Well, I consulted my brain." He said, "I should lie to you."
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I consulted my heart, same answer. Then I consulted my gut, said, "Don't tell this guy, he's gonna freak out," right? But then I consulted the divine force that we all go to and came back from and will go back to. And the divine force said, "Honesty is the best policy." I say, honestly, 100%, it would have been prevented.
Wow. You know.
And he was 57 years old, and he starts crying. And that was the moment I said to him, I said, "Listen, don't cry. I'm going to be a doctor, primary care doctor." I gave my resignation from a lucrative job where I was working 3 days a week.
Wow.
From now working 7 days a week.
The plight of the entrepreneurial.
Yes. Yeah. And everyone told me that I am doing the biggest mistake of my lifetime because I have a lucrative job in downtown Boston, best hospital in the world. And I'm going to do a primary care where there's no money there. Wow. The reimbursement is low. I'm going to fail. I'm going to be competing with too many doctors. Today, I have 28,000 patients here. Wow. And it's an ever-growing practice.
And I wish we had hours, because there could be a 2, 3, 4, 5 episode. Your story is spellbounding. It really shows the test of the human spirit. And I think for anyone that's watching this that is going through a struggle, 1% chance to live, your humble beginnings, and then still pushing forward to help other people. And, a lot of people watching this podcast are investors, people trying to get to the next level, but you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your help, at the end of the day, what do you have, right?
Yes.
And it's right now this kind of trend of biohacking and people really looking to elongate their lives. That is, I think, affluent people have a lot more access to things ordinary people don't. So the fact that you're, just really bringing your mission to the masses is incredible, Doc. Really, really powerful, and we are so honored to help push both of these projects because they are. I know we chatted and I told Robert, I said, Dr. Mehdi has such a charismatic. I spent 20, 30 years as a public speaker. I'm like, he has such a genuineness to his story, but in person, not only are you genuine, but you're a lot sexier.
I'll invite you to P-Town with me. Boston. You're a handsome looking.
Yeah.
You know what my mother used to say? It takes one to know one.
There we go.
You're equally very handsome. And I saw you, I said, man, this dude is handsome. I know how he got the beautiful woman.
There we go.
Well, there's so much to talk about, and we have so little time, and we're going to do another podcast. But I want you to tell.
There has to be a part two.
Oh, that's a part two or three. But I want you to tell the story, because this just, I think, continues on your journey of just pushing past the boundaries. Can you tell the story about the LOI you put on the land for the Journey Memory Care?
Yeah, so the land is south of Boston. It's in a very luxurious area. It's called Duxbury. Some people call it Luxbury from luxury.
Yeah.
Right? Average home is like $4 million there. And it's on 37 acres. It's about assessed to be 10 million or so. And people were offering 17 million, 18 million, 19 million.
Wow.
So I thought I would not have any chance, right? So I said to my wife, I said, listen, Heather, I think maybe I should make just a video to them and tell them what I want to say. So
you know what Heather said? Just don't sing.
Yes.
Or she was singing in the back. That sold it.
And I did not know that I'm a bad singer, but I found out the script that she wrote for me in our living room. That video is actually online. In the living room, that script that she wrote to me, I read it 5 times and I said, you know what? I can't do this. This sucks. I came back after work and I said, Heather, can you just put that phone again? And let me just record it. I said, you know what? I don't need a script. I'll just talk to them. And I did. I talked for like 3 minutes. And I told them that they have a responsibility to the community. They've been serving for 30 years. They were the steward of this land. I want to be the steward of this land.
Wow.
And I want to provide the same service to the community. It's a pretty nice video, but the reason I'm harping on that is because when they chose me, and I got a letter from them saying that we have chosen you over 17 million and 25 million offers for $9 million offer.
Wow.
And undervalue something that is much more expensive, something that next year, once we populate it, is going to turn out to be $45 million being assessed to. So you invest $9 million, you get out of the next year $45 million. It's a great investment thing. They say, we want to give it to you and we will wait for you till you get the money because we know you don't have the money. You're a poor primary care doctor.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Congrats.
Yes.
That's beautiful because then they understand the need, that was in the community and they see your vision.
Yes.
They're partnered in with you and that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
They see the impact that you're making.
It made me validated that the message that I'm bringing for the people is real. We are suffering health-wise. You see
that even in children,
yes.
now, more so than before.
You can have the best insurance, best everything. But unless you don't have a right quarterback, which is the medical doctor, that is willing to address the causation of the problem, you're going to be basically taking pills and getting refills.
Yeah.
And I think that process is not a bad process. It's needed in some places. But I think we can slow down that process or even change that for people where they don't need the medication. Where if you have a coronary artery disease and you're inflamed and you have a heart attack, you can reverse that. Dr. Esselstyn did a randomized control trial that actually showed that you can reverse the heart disease, right? Dr. Dean Ornish did a trial that was on CNN, I think, where they showed that you can reverse the dementia just by nutrition, right? So food is medicine. Wow. So think about it when you go to the store, what you're going to buy. And for your audience, if you want to buy and turn the food into medicine, my humble advice is go to the produce department, pick up the greens first, then pick up the very colorful vegetables. I'm not going to go into the medical jargon why, but just giving a very quick freebie recipe. And then pick up lentils and legumes. And after that, maybe if you do want to dabble into meat, go ahead, dabble. But that I can tell you more on the part 2.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. That was exactly what we were going to ask next, which was exactly what we were going to say. We were like, how can people get started? And so that's wonderful. We do have to do a part 2. so that we can go more in depth. And thank you for your wisdom, and thank you for sharing your message, because honestly, I think it's refreshing. It's also something that the other, maybe part 3 and part 4 can also be on the resilience of your mindset also through this, from beginning from, being homeless all the way up to this side, because as entrepreneurs also, going back to the neuroscience and the mind, and, if the mind is taken care of, the rest of you also, benefits. And I know it too well as a mom of 2 that I run around constantly chasing my kids.
Their mental health and our mental health.
Yes, on both sides. Yeah. But it's so vital. If you don't get your sleep, if you don't get the right nutrition, if you don't get, you get drained and you can't help others. And so I think you are on the right track. You are definitely an inspiration, and what your work is just fascinating. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And we really commend you for the memory care also, because I think that that's also something that even just quality of life as we get older, it's so important.
Anyone that's watching that wants to invest in these projects, please please reach out. And it's so powerful when you can be part of something that is gonna again help people in a way that is so profound, right? And I mean, it sounds dramatic, but it's it's literally like the people's last I'm sure you've seen a lot of people on their last moments, right? And
yes.
What do you think is the closeout? What is the one thing that people wish they had more than anything in that moment?
It's the good health. They just want a good health. They can have all the money, all the fame, but in the end, even Steve Jobs left a little message for people that what is most important is their health. I just wanted to let your audience know about this chip that we talk about, just 5 seconds.
Sure.
It has 5 chips that I've created, and the chip processes the human emotions and then sends it's not going to be transplanted into you.
I asked, that was my first question. I'm like, so how are we going to get the public to be okay with? He's like, no. This is not Elon Musk.
No, it's not.
Inside you.
It's not. Yeah. Listen.
Speak to us in a bachelor's degree level.
So listen.
No, elementary level.
So here's the elementary level. If you have 2 legs that are fine but a little weak, you don't get a 3rd leg, right?
That's true.
You just make those legs stronger.
Right.
So if your brain is weak, you don't put a chip in there. Instead, what you do is you make the brain stronger. Brain has trillions, billions of neuronal network, as much as the stars in the sky.
Wow.
So we haven't utilized them. So we need to optimize the function of the brain. And this chip does that. The way it does is, in your own privacy, you are on your computer. The computer has this EPU in it. The EPU talks to you. The first thing it will do...
Or your phone, right?
Or your phone. The first thing it will do, it will shut off your electricity and shut off your Bluetooth, because it wants you to have complete privacy. Wow. It's designed that way.
Wow.
So your data is not going anywhere. Yeah, you know how you're always afraid that your data is going somewhere. People are going to find it. Right. It's something very personal, and I want to do that. So the chip is called an APG. Then once you start talking to it, because it has artificial intelligence in it, what I did was I created a new artificial intelligence program in Python.
Of course you did.
Of course.
Where I call it Nova Mind. Wow. And what it does is basically, if you take DeepSeek and you take ChatGPT and you take Elon Musk and you take Gemini and all of that, put them in a blender, Nova Mind comes out.
Wow.
And so this one works offline.
Wow.
So, which is good because secretive is very important.
Yes.
Patient privacy, HIPAA, and so forth. So this one has NovaMind artificial intelligence in it. And what it does is it very quickly processes the data and creates very accurate diagnosis within 15 minutes or so. Once you have the diagnosis, it sends the information to the 3rd chip that actually will process very quickly which neurotransmitter is broken. So there are 86 keys to the piano. 86 million songs have been made, right? Wow. There are only 5 keys, serotonin, epinephrine, dopamine, oxytocin, and norepinephrine. I call it the SENDO, SENDO. So if you want to ever remember these acronyms of that.
Or spell any of them either.
Yeah. So these what this chip does is it says, aha, you have depression and you have anxiety. So I'm going to work on this neurotransmitter, and this neurotransmitter needs to be optimized. Yours needs to be toned down. Yours needs to be increased.
Wow.
It says, you know what?
It's like an EQ.
Yeah. And then what it says is, it uses AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality, and it creates a gaming console that will create a game, and then you start playing that game, designed just for you.
Wow.
You play 7 times that game, neurotransmitter is optimized.
Wow.
So gaming will become medicine.
Yeah.
Wow. Food will become medicine, gaming will become medicine.
And gaming is I read this once that the gaming industry is like 100 times more profitable than the entire sports movie and everything combined. It is crazy numbers. So Doc,
that's
again, there's going to be a number 2.
I mean, well, one quick thing. I mean, like, what about athletes and like all these people that are high performers also that are ready to get back? Like, imagine optimizing them even more. It's almost like, I mean, yes, think about like the mental health and but the full gamut is just better quality for everybody. It's just amazing.
I have NFL players that come. Actually, some from Florida came to me for CTE.
Yeah. I hope it's not the Dolphins because it's not working.
No.
I'm a Jets fan. That was a low ball. Nothing will work for us. Well, that's incredible. And Doc, I thank you so much. There's going to be a lot more to talk here. And how do people find out more about these projects?
Well, they can go to drmehdi.online, MEHD as in David, H is silent like in the night, and it's Mehdi as in ever ready Mehdi.
Yeah,
that's what the nurses used to call me in ICU. So Dr. Mehdi, MEHDI.online. And the website is there, and from there's a contact information. Sure. It's a HIPAA compliant form that you can fill in and contact us.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Mehdi, for coming to this sunny place in the world, and we appreciate